Hello, Powerhouse Smart friends and colleagues. My favorite day of the week. It's my day to record my PowerHouse Cool Collabs podcast, which is it's a huge, amazing part of my heart in the sense that I get to select the coolest leaders in the luxury design build industry to join me sharing their story. And of course, they always believe in collaboration, a huge part of what I do every day, as well as they live with an attitude of gratitude and they love helping humanity. So today I have a fabulous new guest who I've gotten to know for the last couple of years, given her company, but she's just an incredible powerhouse in her own right. And I always like to because this is commutable, very short, it goes so fast. I like to let our guests introduce themselves so they can share their story, and then we'll have a lovely conversation. So, Kristin, welcome to my podcast.
Thanks, Wendy. It's a very generous introduction. Um, so I guess a little background on myself. I have a pretty unconventional journey to get to where I'm at today. I started in manufacturing 3 days after I graduated high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do, wasn't prepared to make an investment in college. I knew I was just going to waste my money and not be happy with whatever I ended up with. So I just started working and thought I'll figure it out later. And 10 years later, I was still working there and they were telling us we're shutting this location down, everyone's getting laid off.
Wow.
So with that, though, with that situation, I qualified for a federal grant that's specific for displaced workers due to jobs being moved overseas or to foreign countries. And I got the opportunity to go back to school. And so I thought it's now or never. And it was just a matter of what am I going to go to school for? And around that time, I had been dabbling in marketing on my own on behalf of my archery club. So I'm super involved with an archery club in my area here in Northeast Wisconsin. And I just, in my volunteer time, started doing marketing for us. I really thought if other archers knew what we were doing at our club, they would just love it. It was the Valley's best kept secret. I just needed to get the word out there. And so started doing marketing for the club, really enjoyed it. It was working. I seemed to be pretty good at it. So I thought, well, this is what I'll go back to school for. And maybe when I'm done with my degree, somebody would be willing to pay me to do this instead of doing it in my volunteer time. So that's what I did. I went back to school and I went through the humbling experience of being an intern at 30 years old. Started my work life over and fast forward a little bit in 2021, I interviewed here at Buechel Stone and it was the most fun job interview I ever was a part of. And I thought, man, I hope they call. And now I just celebrated my 5-year anniversary here. And so I came here as a digital marketing specialist, but the role quickly evolved. And now I oversee all things marketing, which include obviously our marketing department, but then our sample department and our design centers, which is one thing that we do, I would say, pretty significantly differently than a lot of other showroom-based businesses. Our showrooms are an extension of marketing and not sales. So we try to keep things very experiential and consultative, and it's been very, very fun. I never knew selling stone could be so much fun.
Oh my God. Well, you make selling stone so creative and interesting and, truly humanizing. What is typically stone you would think of as a cooler part of our world, but you just feel warm. And I just am so impressed with your creativity and outside of the box marketing for Buechel. And I love your story because for the people who are listening, we don't always all follow the same traditional path. We go where our heart tells us to go, and that's what you did. And you did marketing because that's what you loved, and you did it for pro bono, right? For
Right.
the archery club, and then you realize they're paying you to do what you love to do, and how perfect. I call it a God wink that you got the perfect company where you interviewed and immediately you felt the culture. And
Yeah.
yeah. So tell us about that. What is the culture like at Beagle, and how have you, you know, um, I would say exponentially pull that into your marketing vision?
I think the culture here is just very human. Like everybody is really encouraged to just be themselves, and you don't have to be somebody different here versus who you are in your regular life. We have a wide variety of people. We often joke that you got to just be a little bit off to work here. Be a little bit crazy, a little bit outside the box. And I think that piece of it helps us with our marketing in making Stone feel attainable, accessible, that it like we're just people trying to help other people. And that's really once people like embark on the Stone journey with us, that's really what they experience is that we're just people trying to help them achieve their vision and achieve their goals and using Stone as a way to do that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And so I love also that you talked about that your showrooms, that I know you have a beautiful showroom in the Chicago Merchandise Mart. And thank you for sponsoring us at the Luxury Conference in Chicago. And now also your Buechel showroom in Minnesota is going to be
Yep.
part of our Minnesota conference in November.
Yep.
And Dominique, the showroom manager, is one of our emerging leaders. So we have a lot of crossover here.
Yes.
But I want to hear, how you position, because you said the showrooms are really more an extension of marketing. So what does that really mean?
So really it just means that the design consultants do more to kind of attract and engage with people. They do a lot more focus on event planning and social media and education of the Stone. It's very consultative. It's very low pressure. Um, One of the things when it comes to the collaboration piece is the way we choose to collaborate with our clients is we try to take this big process of picking out Stone and turning it into these digestible pieces. And so in the showrooms, we really just focus on finding what people love, understanding their vision, and not getting them super overwhelmed with well, how am I going to get it to my job site? Stone is something that people don't pick out every day. They don't even pick it out every year. Um, for many people, it's something they pick out once in their lifetime, maybe twice. So it comes with a lot of angst. It comes with a lot of worry. It comes with some friction. And I think that's where taking a marketing approach to it and making it about just providing a really incredible, hospitable experience for people just like lets a lot of that worry and concern fall away. And these people feel taken care of and they know that we're going to like follow through with that all the way to when the Stone arrives on the job site.
I think that is so brilliant. I'm really, really so excited that you're sharing this and educating everybody because I definitely feel it's almost the secret marketing weapon, the art of the relationship and
Yeah.
humanizing. Yeah. So I know that I've seen you do that in your showrooms. And so do you have events where you invite builders and architects and designers to experience the Stone?
We are very event heavy, and you've heard us talk about it at some of our Chicago events. We want to be known as the fun people. When we have our events, everything is about, are we having fun? Is there food? Is there music? Are there good people to talk to? That's what we care about. And so whether it's education-based CEU style events or just networking events or conferences, you name it, we are happy to have events. We used to try to shoot for one event a month at every location, and that was quite the ambitious goal. But now we reduced the schedule, but they're still good, still strategic, and we just want to make it worth everyone's while when they're there.
That's terrific. So now your target when you're talking to about your product, and please clarify. Some people might not know of your different types of stone and where you get
Sure.
your stone, and so share with everyone, please.
Yeah, so we sort of have three areas that we specialize in. One is building stone, so thin veneer or full stone. You would see it on exteriors, fireplaces, accent walls, backsplashes, you name it. It can go a lot of different places. Then we have a line of landscape stone, and that can be everything from large scale outcroppings to steppers and pavers. And then we also have a line of architectural custom cut stone, like this fireplace that you see behind me. Um, so we have
Beautiful.
a saw shop that does all kinds of custom cut stone work. And so between those three things, we just try to make people's visions turn into a reality.
Well, so it's very clear that is if you were looking for like a stone countertop, that would not be what.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Countertops are not really, slabs, those types of things are not really our wheelhouse. Mantles, hearths, those types of things we can do, but countertops are not our game.
Yes, I understand. And how about flooring?
Depends. In true Beagle fashion, it depends.
I like that. So, okay, so if you're looking for any of those items, and of course you can visit, all of your social media and your website to see all of that. But even when you're in the showroom, just the texture and some of the feelings are just really cool and super special. And typically, like you said, if you're looking for stone, you usually have to go on a quarry, right?
Right, right. And one of the other things, like in comparison to somebody who's picking up countertops, where some of that friction or worry comes from is when you pick out a countertop, you're picking up the slab. When you come to one of our showrooms, you're getting a, a, a version of what this stone looks like. It's a representation, not a replica, and so it requires a ton of trust.
Sure.
And that's where we have really built out teams that are there to help people understand, know that we're there to hold their hand, and that we're going to reassure them, and they're going to get what their vision is, because it requires a lot of trust.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I got to imagine with all of the marketing that you're doing, that you guys are growing. So tell me, what territory, where do you service? If someone's here, is that listening from California? Tell me about.
Yeah, we serve the whole United States as well as Canada. We have showrooms in San Francisco. We are actually working on a new space in San Francisco. So more coming soon on that. Stay tuned. We obviously have the location in Minneapolis, like you mentioned, one in Chicago, like you mentioned, and then we have our flagship location in Kohler, Wisconsin.
Oh, in Kohler. Well, we have to plan a retreat
Yes,
so we can.
agreed.
That is so cool. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And as you might know, I'm also in Southern California, and I do an event every year at West Edge Design Fair in Santa Monica. So I need to connect you up. That's the whole thing is,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
and
just
maybe
and we'll just get a showroom open down there too. We'll work on
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I'd love to help you with that. So if somebody is listening to this and they're a builder, an architect, interior designer, or they're kitchen and bath or whatever or maybe they're just doing a fabulous new project themselves, their own home, what would you recommend? How would they reach out to you? How would they learn about you? What is the best way for people to connect with you?
I Depending on where they're at in their project, I truly think the best way is, if they visit our website, we do both in-person and virtual stone consultations.
Okay.
And I really think that's the best way to start. It doesn't, we position it in a way where it's not like you have to drink from the fire hose of learning everything about stone. We break it down into stages and help you where you're at. Um, if you're further along, either way, our website is honestly the best way to reach out. No matter what way you try to reach out to us, we get you in contact with the right person immediately. So we have territory sales specialists, we have stone design consultants, we have inside sales coordinators. Depending on your region, they all work together as a team. And so you're like, no matter where you are and what your project is, you have 2 to 3 people supporting you on that project on the Buechel side from start to finish. So, and we get you in contact with those people ASAP.
Wonderful. And so I'm thinking about industry professionals who love to collaborate. And so do they have to, is it with the local people, the local reps in that area? So let's say I'm building in Lake Geneva. Is there local people that service that area and that's who I'm going to
Yes.
be connected with? Okay,
Yes. Yep.
terrific. And I'm curious, out of when you first started 5 years ago, were you as big as you are today? Or what have you contributed to this huge growth that I'm starting to see, at least on social media?
I think a lot of people think we're bigger than we are. We feel big sometimes, but we really don't have that many employees. So it's really tough to say. In terms of locations and things like that, we have grown to some extent. We've added a warehouse in Indiana. We have a trucking division now. Um, but like the big things on the marketing side are we did a brand refresh 2 years ago, and that was really exciting to be a part of. And then we've launched a magazine. I believe it was March of last year. We have our own publication called Stone Journal, which is like the brainchild of Mike come to life, Mike Buechel. We had talked for a long time about wanting to do some kind of a coffee table book, and we just didn't know how to do it. And then we got the right partnerships and aligned with the right people, and we were able to start producing this publication where we get to share the stories of the people involved with making the Stone selections and what went into that decision. Was Stone the first thing they picked or the last thing they picked, and why? And we just get to really share the behind the scenes. And now we've started to turn that into a webinar series, and it's just been really, really incredible.
Oh my God. You have one of the Stone journals in front of you that you could raise up?
I don't. I should have brought one in here. I'm so
No,
sorry, but
that's okay. And I don't have mine right by my desk either, but I have one, of course, and it's the coolest thing, everyone. So if anything, definitely look at all the links and everything and make sure you go to the website and sign up for your Stone Journal. It's so cool. And what a great idea. And how awesome to be in a position as the marketing director, right? Is that your title?
I'm the marketing manager. But
And how many
a lot
people
of
do
my
you,
job description is many other things besides marketing. So
any true entrepreneurial company, right?
right.
We sweep the floors, we bring in the toilet paper, and we make all the creative and marketing decisions. So, do you have a team of people in your marketing department, or is it what do you? How do
We
you
do.
accomplish this?
We do. We have a pretty small team here. Mike, our CEO, is incredibly involved with the marketing we do, and I'd never take that for granted. I appreciate that our ownership and our leadership is super supportive of everything we're doing on the marketing side. And then we have a marketing coordinator and a digital marketing specialist here internally. And then, like I said, our design consultants get to dabble in marketing as well. But as far as the publication goes, we actually partnered with Aspire Design and Home on that,
Mhm, I saw that.
and they are they do most of the heavy lifting. They make the magic happen. We help them find the projects, and then we also partner with Myrelli Studios. They do the graphic design for it, and they also do the graphic design for Neocon. If people are familiar with Neocon, so
Sure.
they're both groups are just incredible to work with, and we feel really, really lucky to have that collaboration going.
Well, thank you for sharing those stories. And who does all the videos? I mean, some of your video is incredible.
It probably depends on which video it was. Right now, Dakota, our digital marketing specialist, is working on some videos right now. He has a film background. But depending on what the video was, some of them come from other partners. We whenever we can get our hands on a video, we'll take it. So
Well, Kristen, it's the magic of relationships and you guys understanding, and Mike, of course, being a CEO, really caring about marketing and understanding that is your culture. It is, who you are and how you, and actually it's everything that you do. It's, you walk in the door, you talk to a person on a phone from Beagle, and that's what you feel. So I'm just so thrilled to be connected with you. I'm so thrilled to share you with everybody that's listening to this, not only on our podcast, but at all of our events, and help you expand if you want into Southern California, whatever I could do. We're also in Naples, Florida, another big market for you. So, and just really, frankly, I'm just glad that, you're my friend and I can reach out to you, and of course, I've always got your back, and I really appreciate you and look forward to many more future collaborations. So thank you for that.
that's very kind of you, Wendy. I appreciate you as well.
So a couple last questions, because the two other pillars that we didn't talk about, but we've been talking about it without mentioning it. So sometimes that's the best story, is when you never have
Sure.
to say it, is gratitude. I could just tell that you are just loving what you do every day. You wake up and you don't feel like you're going to work. But would you share with some of our, what would the advice or the wisdom that you would give to people about living every day with an attitude of gratitude?
Yeah, I mean, you just nailed it right there. I'm sure people here especially think I'm being sarcastic when I say it, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm always grateful that 10 years ago I had a chance to try something different, and this is where I landed, and I didn't know I could have this much fun at work. So, that is a huge part of the gratitude. When I think of Buechel specifically, I actually had an epiphany as we were doing our annual planning for this year. It was like a lot of ideas that I already had that really just like came together and like brought some clarity to me. And it was that basically, unless you live in an HOA and it's a requirement, stone is not a need for anybody, it's a want. And so when somebody sets foot in one of our showrooms or calls us or reaches out via the website, it seems genuinely insane to me that we would treat them with anything other than gratitude, for taking the time to decide that that's what they want and then to choose us to be the avenue of how they want to pursue that. And so I think it's just an injustice and a disservice to be ungrateful to them. It's a disservice to them, their project, to Mother Nature, you know, it, and I we try to incorporate a lot of hospitality principles into what we do, but the gratitude piece, I just feel like it's crazy to be anything other than grateful.
Thank you. And last but not least, there's a lot of younger emerging leaders, I call them, in our industry. What advice would you give to them as, a marketing leader? And kind of like, what would you say to your younger self?
Oh, um, good question. One thing would be to just try some stuff. You never know. Like you can look and see and find examples of what worked where and when and why, but sometimes it's just about taking a risk. And yeah, screenshots live forever, but the internet moves so fast. If you flubbed something, unless it was really drastic, no one's going to remember, and you just move on and try something else. And I think the other big thing is just know that what you're doing is valuable, and if just make sure you're in alignment with like the leadership team and your ownership, and that they find value in what you're doing too, because then you get to have fun with what you're doing.
Okay, I think that's terrific. So, Kristin, thank you. It goes so fast. It's already time, and I'm just want to make sure that I have all the links below, so you'll be able to learn more about Buechel. And if this is your first introduction, I'm so honored that I was the one to share this great company and these great human beings, souls, with you. And I just look forward to many more experiences together. So, my love to
Thank you
you.
so much, Wendy. This was super fun.
Yeah, well, that right? Is it like that perfect?
That was great.
Okay. Thank you.